Alright, you've got an LED screen in your render, slap on an emissive shader and you think it looks good, but let's be real, it looks cheap, flat and nothing like a real display. So how do the pros fake real pixels? I'm gonna show you the shader trick that makes all the difference. We are talking RGB structure, subpixel detail and a screen that actually feels alive. Welcome back to Primal VFX, I'm your host Skart, and if you want to see more cool shit like that, smash that like button, subscribe for more awesomeness, and let's dive in right now! Before we dive into the heart of this video, ask yourself, do you ever dream of crafting 3D cinematic sci-fi worlds? Well, buckle up because I've got something extraordinary for you. Welcome to an unexpected odyssey, episode 1, Environment Modeling with Maya. This full course is your gateway to mastering the art of modeling and designing immersive environments. I will be sharing with you how to plan and organize personal projects, keep motivation and be efficient in tackling such a large environment scene. Discover a seamless modeling workflow that thrives on precision, channeling attention towards shapes, forms, and harmonious proportions. Uncover ingenious kitbashing and modular asset strategies that infuse life into your scenes. Let's turn your dreams into stunning reality. The adventure begins now, and you can join the journey over at primalvfx.com.
Alright, so to kick things off, I've built a simple scene. Just a 16:9 plane, nothing fancy, to emulate our LED screen. If we zoom out, you'll notice we've got a basic backdrop and a simple HDRI. Now, we don't actually need the HDRI yet, but it'll come in handy later when we want some juicy coat detail. I've also set up a camera, dynamic angle, really tight on the screen, just to make sure we've got something interesting and cinematic for the final render. Cool. Let's dive into the shader. We're gonna create a new AI standard surface shader and name it FUILAD screen. Yes, rename your shader. Don't be that guy. Drop the base color all the way to black. Kill the specular, set it to 0. For now, we are focusing purely on emission. So now let's plug in a texture. I've got this awesome FUI interface. Very sci-fi, very slick, and it's going to be our main texture map. To do that, we create an AI image node. Load up the texture and don't forget, in the filter settings, change it to closest. That's important. No blurry nonsense. Now just connect the out color of the AI image node to the emission color input of the shader. Crank the emission weight to 3. We're here to glow, not to whisper. Let's hit the IPR to see what we're working with. Apply the shader to our geometry. Just select the plane and assign it. Boom! There it is. Our sci-fi interface mapped right onto the plane. Now in the AI image node, we can tweak the scale and offset to make the frame more visually interesting. Let's change the scale to 1.1, offset U to -0.07 and offset V to 0.05. Much better. It's framed nicely and it's got that high-tech, punchy feel. But let's be real for a second. It still looks cheap, flat, like a basic emissive map slapped on a plane. Nothing about this screams real display. So how do the pros fake real pixels? Well, the shader trick that makes all the difference is Subpixel Texture. Alright, let's ask the big brains over at Google. What the hell is a subpixel anyway? Well, according to the internet, a subpixel is a component of a pixel, typically a red, green or blue light element used in displays like smartphones and monitors to create a wider range of colors. Let's hop into Photoshop and recreate that subpixel texture ourselves. Go to File, New and set the resolution to 2048 by 2048. That's a clean 2K square. First things first, we need a black background. Create a new fill layer, solid black, and rename it BG. Yeah, we are keeping things clean and pro. Now what we want is 3 vertical rectangles, red, green, and blue, just like real subpixels. You could just draw them by eye. But we don't do sloppy here. Let's do it properly, with guides. I'm using a super handy Photoshop plugin called Better Grids. Total game changer for UI, work or anything layout based. Let's set it up real quick. Boom, 3 perfect columns, all evenly spaced and ready to go. Now just fill them in. Red on the left, green in the center, blue on the right. That's it. Nothing fancy, just clean, simple and pixel perfect. Make sure the margins are consistent. Same padding on the left, right, top and bottom. Once that's done, export it as a PNG. Let's call it subpixels.png. Nice and obvious. Alright, let's jump back into Maya. First, let's clean things up. Rename the node we were working with. This one is our interface texture. Now select it, duplicate it. This new one is going to be our subpixel pattern. Make sure to rename the node so you don't lose track of what's what. Let's load in our freshly baked RGB subpixel texture, the one we made in Photoshop. Reset the offset U and V back to default. Same with the scale. We want a clean starting point here. Now plug it into the emission color input just to see what we're dealing with. And yeah, it's massive. Obviously, this texture needs to tile way more to simulate the fine structure of an actual display. So let's start scaling it up. Try a repeat value of 30. Still too chunky. Let's push it. 50, 100. Okay, now we are starting to see something interesting. Next up, let's drop in an AI multiply node. The idea is simple. We're gonna combine both our textures, plug the interface texture into input A and the subpixel texture into input B. Now take the out color from the multiply node and feed it into the emission color of the shader. Let's hit the IPR and check it out. Nice. We are starting to get that layered RGB structure behind the image. It's still rough, but now you can see where this is going. And trust me, once you dial this in properly, it makes all the difference. In a second, we'll take this even further. I'll show you how to build a dynamic setup where the subpixel texture tiles automatically based on your image dimensions, so you don't have to guess or manually tweak every time. Oh, and yeah, we'll also switch out that basic RGB pattern for some next level high-res subpixel textures that give way better results. Let's crank it up. Now let me put you onto something seriously cool, surfaceimperfections.com by David Gruwier. It's a killer collection of premium assets built for one thing, photorealism. We are talking real-world scan textures, from subtle surface imperfections that break up that CG plastic look, to flashlight gobo maps for detailed light projections, and even legit carbon fiber textures that actually hold up in automotive renders. There's even a free utility texture included, great for checking texture resolution, but today, what we are really here for is this bad boy, the Subpixel Textures pack. It's a collection of 30 ultra-detailed subpixel patterns, all based on microscope photos of real displays, everything from vintage CRTs to modern OLEDs. These textures are next level compared to the basic RGB strip we built earlier. You want realism? This is where it's at. So if this looks like something you wanna mess with, check the links in the description. I've got you covered. Alright, let's pin this whole setup together. First, let's clean up the node naming. Rename this one to Mix, just to keep it clear. In our subpixel pattern nodes, set the scale back to 1, we want a clean baseline. Now, after downloading the amazing texture pack from David Gruwier, let's pick a subpixel texture we like. I'm going with this one. It looks super crisp. Load it up in the file node. Hit that IPR, refresh. Boom, looking clean. Now let's get serious. Time to set up our dynamic tiling nodes. Start by creating an AI user data float node. Rename it height. Duplicate it and name the second one width. Duplicate again and name the third one divider. Now, why do we need this? Well, if you check the subpixel texture from David, you'll notice the pattern is repeated twice in the image. So we are gonna do some quick math to make sure it tiles correctly across our LED screen. These three nodes will allow us to input the resolution of our screen image plus the number of pattern repetitions and scale the texture accordingly. This image is in 4K. So in the height node, set the value to 3840. In the width, input 2160. And for the divider, put 2 since the pattern repeats twice in the texture. Now we need UV coordinates. Create a place 2D texture node and connect the out U and out V to the UV input of our subpixel texture node. Then we'll create a float mask node and set the operation to divide. Duplicate it. Now take the height output and plug it into float A and the divider into float B of the first node. Do the same with the width and plug it into the second one. Rename them for clarity. One is height divider, the other width divider. What we are doing here is dividing the full image resolution by the number of times the pattern is repeated. Makes sense. Next, we create two new float mask nodes, this time set to multiply. Connect the out hue from the place to D texture to float A of the first multiply node and the height divider result to float B. Same thing for the second node, connect out V and width divider. So basically, we are multiplying the UV coordinates by the adjusted image dimensions. This is what gives us that automatic tiling effect based on the resolution. Now take the outfloat from the first node and plug it into the UV coordinate X input of the subpixel pattern. Then do the same for the second one and plug it into UVY. Boom, setup's done. Now take the out color of the subpixel pattern and connect it to the emission color input of the shader. Refresh the IPR. And there it is. The subpixel pattern is now repeating itself properly across the screen, scaled according to our image resolution. To see the final effect in context, plug the out color from the mix node into the emission color. And just like that, boom, we've got crazy RGB LED artifacts firing through the image. It's sharp detailed and finally looking like an actual screen. Now that the LED shader's behaving, let's give it that final polish. Glass reflections, imperfections, the whole package. Set the base color to a nice dark blue. Drop the base weight to 0.5. Now crank the specular weight to 1 and set the roughness to 0.2. Let's add a coat layer, weight at 0.5, roughness at 0.2 as well. That's gonna give us those slick screen highlights. Time to bring in some surface imperfections. Create a new AI image node and rename it Fingerprints. Load up a roughness map. I'm going with this Fingerprints 4K texture. Important, set the color space to raw. We want accurate values here. Next, create an AI range node and rename it accordingly. Plug everything together, image to range, then into the coat roughness input. Hit the IPR again. Alright, the texture's way too big. Let's scale it down in the AI image node until it fits nicely. Now we'll remap the values using the range node. Set contrast to 1.2, output max to 0.3 and output min to 0.05. Refresh the IPR again. Boom! Now we've got a slick LED screen with realistic RGB structure, reflective glass and fingerprint imperfections catching the light like a real panel. Final touch, crank the emission weight to 8 to make it really punch. And just like that, the final result. So good. What do you think, guys? This is such a fun, powerful way to build realistic LED emissive screen materials with actual RGB pixel structure. Not just glow, the real deal.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel for more awesomeness. And I see you guys in the next video.